welcome to Beauty First in 10. If you're new here, hi, my name is Debbie and I'm so happy to see you on my channel. And today we're going to go through my recommendations and picks for the Sephora sale. The Sephora sale is going on starting today, and for Rouge members, you get 20% off, and that goes from April 4th to April 14th. Now, if you're a VIB or you're an insider, then you're going to get 15 and 10% off respectively, and that will start on the 8th of April and still also ends on the 14th. And also keep in mind, if you're so inclined to get any Sephora collection items, those are 30% off for everyone from the April 4th to the 14th. So those are the dates, and I will kind of give you at the end of my video some of the things that I'm looking forward to trying out this year as well. Now stay tuned all week as I'll continue to have updates on recommendations, kind of going into a little bit more broad categories and covering a lot more products. But today we're just going to go through the best of the best. And I will also link down below in the description box my most repurchased item video, and also my video on the best of beauty for 2024 and what I bought in the Sephora sale in the October or fall version of this. So we're going to start off with primers and kind of sunscreen products. Kosas has their Dream Beam Sunlit Comfy Smooth Sunscreen, and I really like this. I think this doesn't get a lot of play. You know, a lot of times products come out in Sephora and there's this big hubbub and lots of hype when they first come out because I guess people get PR packages and so then they talk about them, but then they just move on to the next product. And I have really enjoyed this. So you'll see in the clip, it kind of just gives a nice golden sheen. I think with, you know, maybe like a stick concealer or even just like a skin tint, you could just wear this alone. I've done that frequently and just use like a more heavy bodied powder. This is really good. I definitely like this. It's also SPF 40. You know, if you're putting this on, you want to put it on pretty liberally if this is going to be your only sunscreen. Now, the other primer I'm going to talk about, because I'm really somebody that wants either total glow and I just want to be gleaming, or I want to be matte and dry. And so the one I've enjoyed for glow is this Yummy Skin by Danessa Myricks, and this is their glow serum, and I have this in Main Squeeze, which is a little bit of a kind of sort of champagne, but this looks really pretty on the skin. You'll see in the clips there. This will also give you kind of that glowy look, so I really like this one, and it also really works well to hold on to my makeup. All right, so moving into foundation. Oh my gosh, I have so many foundations. It was really hard to narrow it down, but I cannot stop using this one. So this is by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is their Blurring Second Skin Matte Foundation, and I have this in 1CR. This foundation came out in 2025, and it is my go-to foundation all the time. I use this constantly. And you can see I kind of have it on this side of my face today, but it just covers. It is going to be a full coverage foundation. So you're not going to get like a natural freckles coming through type look with this, but I really like this one. It is really just a beautiful formula. And then in stick formulations, because sometimes I just want to be easy and I just want to swipe it on and go and not go through the whole process, I have this one by Liss, and this is their Triple Fix Serum Skin Tint Stick, and I have this in LN6. This is also a great one. I got this in the last Sephora sale in the fall, and I have just been loving this. It's dewy, but it still gives, you know, kind of a natural look. And so this one is also a really good one to check out. And I think this is a little bit of a sleeper product. Again, you know, there was hype when it first came out, and then nobody talks about it afterwards, but I stay true to products. I don't have millions of dollars, so I can't buy every new product. I mean, I still have 36 foundations, so, you know, I buy most of the products. The next product we're going to go into is some concealers. Now, you'll see in the videos I used two on one side and one on the other. So this one I have is Kulfi, and this is in Misty Maple. And then for the color corrector with Cali Ray, this is the Hideaway Brightening Under Eye Color Corrector, and I have this in the pink shade. So what I do is I put on the Kulfi first, and then I dip my finger in the Cali Ray, so just a little bit of color correction also happens. This is a great pair together, but they're also good separately. And then on the other side, for more of a kind of like one and done kind of concealer look, which is probably how it should be most of the time, I have this one by Merit. And this is their Minimalist Perfecting Complexion Stick. Now this can also be a foundation stick as well, but I really like it under the eyes. I just feel like I get a lot of brightening and evens out the skin tone, kind of hides any bags. I was up very, very late last night, and this is doing a great job. Really, really like this one, and it's kind of a dual product because you do get it also as a complexion stick. So this is a great choice as well. And then for bronzers, I have two. If you're looking for kind of more of a minimalist look, like no makeup, but like wearing makeup, then I would go with the Hourglass, and I have one this in Diffused Bronze Light. This is really pretty. And I will just also mention in these pictures, I've put the products on a little bit heavier than I would in normal life, just so you can kind of see the colors. And then also important to note that everything in this video is cruelty-free. So I do not showcase any products that are not cruelty-free. So everything that you're going to look at today is cruelty-free, and everything I've looked at for harmful ingredients, and those don't exist as well. So you can kind of feel good both morally and also for your health that everything is good. This one is a good choice as well. And then the one that I have literally not put down since I got it is this one by Kosas. And this is the Sun Show Glowy Warmth Baked Bronzer. And I have this in the shade Beachy. This one, I use it almost every day. This is by far my daily bronzer. It has a little bit of sheen, and it just good definition and just really a good color. I think this is a very wearable color for fair, light, and medium shades, but they do have some darker ones for darker skin tones. Really great product as well, but either one of these bronzers would be a good choice. For blush, I have two. The one that I wear almost every day now, it seems like, is this one by Natasha Denona. And this is their High Blush. And this one is in the shade Fresh Mauve. This is just a gorgeous shade. I really like this one. You'll see it in the video there, but I'm going to show you again here. These shades, I will say, in the High Glam blush, that they're all very similar on the skin. There are some definitely darker and some that are a little bit lighter. This is kind of middle of the road, but you get both this blush and you also get a highlighter. And I would say this highlighter is more of a blush topper with a little bit of a sheen, at least on me. But this color is great. I just really enjoy this. So definitely check this one out. And then the other one that I've really been enjoying is the Huda Beauty blush filters. Now I already had the shade Latte, but I am obsessed with everything that is Ubi cream right now. And so this is their shade. And so you can see it's kind of got this super pink color on it. This Ubi shade, it's like named for a sweet potato, but it is just so great. I mean, even the bottle, the color in the bottle is great. But I'm going to show you this on my hand because I think in the video, it doesn't come out really well what the shade color is. So I just wanted you to see that. That is just, it is gorgeous. I really have enjoyed this, and I'll just kind of blend it out so you can see it's really blendable, really kind of melts into the skin. I do find when putting this on that I like to put it on my hand, kind of a big dab, and then dab my brush in it and then apply it to my cheeks. I find if I do the dots on my cheeks, sometimes it can look a little patchy because it seems to kind of like catch in areas. But if I blend it onto the brush and then put it on, then it does great. All right, and then I'm just gonna give one little note about highlighter. I have a lot of like stick highlighters and things like that, but these are just great. So these are by Haus Labs, and this is their Bio Radiant Gel Powder Highlighter. I have Fire Opal and Chocolate Opal. I also have the pink one, and I can't find it. We're kind of in the process of moving right now, and I'm just struggling to find things. So that might have gotten packed already. I'm not sure. But check these out. They have a lot of colors. They really look good, and it's a subtle highlight. I don't like giant chunks of glitter on my cheeks. That does not look good really on anybody. People fool themselves and tell themselves that it looks good, but it really doesn't. These are nice subtle highlighters that you can really wear every day if you really wanted to wear a highlighter every day. All right, so we're gonna move on to eyes. And you know, I have a lot of palettes and I like a lot of them, but the one that I go for all the time is this one. So this is by Huda Beauty, and this is the Icy Nude palette, and I'll kind of bring that in so you can kind of see those shades. This is just a gorgeous palette. If you want to do a pink look, you've got that. If you want to do a peach look, you have that. If you want to do kind of an ombre effect, that's possible in here. You have these beautiful shimmers. Just gentle note, use the NYX glitter primer if you're gonna really layer any of these heavy glitters on, and then they will stay in place, no problem. You kind of have, you know, nice little outer corner shades here. I've done some gray looks. I mean, it just really is a versatile palette. And when I first got it, I was kind of like, man, I don't know what to do with this palette. I think this is not gonna work out. But as I've used it, I have just loved this. But this is a really versatile palette. I think even in the summer, I'm gonna get a lot of use out of this. So I usually use the liquid liner by KVD, the ink tattoo liner, and that is great. And I love that. But this is kind of a surprise one. I don't usually use pencils, but this was really, really good. And then for my eyes, I have absolutely been obsessed with this since I started using it. So I got this a long time ago, just kind of never got around to using it because, you know, once you start using it, you have 3 months, and I had lots of other ones open. And so this one is in the shade brown, and this is the Tartelette tubing mascara, just the normal one, not the XL. This is gorgeous. I almost always exclusively use just brown mascara. I feel like it looks really good with my complexion, but this has just been amazing. You can see like how much lift I get. Now I do have long lashes, so I usually go more for voluminizing type mascaras rather than lengthening mascaras. But wow, this is a great one. I have been blown away by how much I love this mascara. For powders, what I would recommend is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Setting Powders. Now, my absolute all-time favorite powder, hands down, would take this one to the desert island, goes on vacation in a mini form all the time. And this is the shade Peach Pie. And I tried Cherry Blossom, the kind of pink powder. It looked okay on me. Peach Pie looks amazing. And they do sell these in kind of like little minis. Get the mini. It lasts a really long time, and you get pretty good amount of product in there. So I would definitely use the minis before I would get to the full size product, but I liked this so much, I bought both so I can travel with it and then also have it at home. And then the other one that I really enjoyed is the, again, Ube, because I'm obsessed with this. And this one is in Birthday Cake. This color I am just obsessed with. So today I put it on just as a blush topper on this side of my cheek, which you'll kind of see in the video, but this is a great color. Now, I will say that this probably won't work for everyone. Fairer tones, I think, are going to do really well, and deeper tones, but the Peach Pie, everybody will do great with. And then the other one that was kind of a surprise, now this is expensive, but this is the Tasha Denona High Glam Powder Foundation with Blurring Flex Tech Hybrid Powder. Okay, whatever. This is a powder foundation, and it's okay as a powder foundation, but what I use this for is, especially if I'm wearing like a skin tint for the day or something that's lighter coverage, then I put this on top. This is really blurring and it looks really good. I put this on one side of my face, which you'll see there, but this is so great. I just love this powder. I was kind of on the fence about getting it when it first showed up in Ulta, and I was like, I don't know. I mean, do I really need that? And then they had a huge coupon, and I was like, okay, well, I'll give it a try. And so now that it's all back on for the Sephora sale, check this out and get some discount off. Eyes and lips, specifically eyebrows. Now, the eyebrow pencil that I've used for a while now is this one from Rare Beauty. And this is their Brow Harmony Precision Pencil. And I have this in the shade Soft Blonde. So it will come with a little spoolie. And then on the other end, I'll bring this in so you can kind of, whoop, there we go. I'll bring this in so you can kind of see it has a little bit of an angle to it. This pencil is great. I really have a hard time with eyebrow pencils finding something that doesn't have a red-based tone to it. They just seem to all be very warm. And this one is a cool toned color that goes perfect for my eyebrows. I have pretty much non-existent eyebrows, especially my tail end, unless I use this. So this has been a staple in my collection. And then I also added the Milk Makeup Kush Fiber Brow Gel, and I have this one in the shade Haze. So this I use mostly to kind of better define kind of that outer tail. but it has this little tiny cute little brush, but this does deposit a lot of pigment, and this kind of gives me some definition and also some hold. But I really just don't have I have very fine hairs, and then because I have curly hair, they kind of curl there, and they're hard to tame, and so this has been a nice addition to the eyebrow pencil that I've been using. And then for lips, we're going to talk about these because I have so many shades of these Ilia lip sketches. So I have Pink Door, I also have Rhyme, Kiln, and Earthen. And I use these all the time. Now, the only thing I will say is that they can be a little bit drying. So you do want to put a lip gloss on top of it. And so today I use the Haus Labs Persimmon lip gloss on top of this one, and I use the shade Rhyme. I really just like these. I did some bolder colors than I normally would because these are goof proof. You really can't screw these up, even in the darker colors. So I'll show you Kiln. This is the darkest one I have. Rhyme is pretty dark as well, but Kiln is kind of a red color that normally I would stay very far away from, but it's actually very wearable. And so you've got these little pencils, so it's almost like a lip pencil and a lip liner all together. And so you just follow the outline of your lip, and then usually when it gets to the corners, I just kind of use the edge here and I just kind of round out the corners. It's a really easy way if you've been hesitant to try out any kind of lipsticks or were afraid of lip pencils. Well, this is a great combination product, and I have bought 4 and would easily buy the whole collection, except, you know, like I don't have unlimited money again. So I just went with 4 shades. I thought that was reasonable. Okay, so we're going to talk about some of the things that I'm excited to try out. Now, I am a person that is obsessed with all things bronzing and bronzing drops, and I have a lot, but I want to check out Westman Atelier's bronzing drops. It just has a little bit of a red-based tone, so it has more of kind of a blush bronzer look, and I really don't have anything like that in my bronzing collection. I'm also going to get some fragrances. So I don't wear a lot of perfume just because of my job and kind of what I do, but for weekends and if I'm going out on special events, I want to have something. And so I kind of made it a mission this year that every time I was in Sephora, I would kind of spritz on some perfume and see like, oh, do I like this one? Is this good? Because it was kind of starting from scratch. So the 2 that I landed on is the Fleur Heavy Cream, which is a nice light scent that I think I could actually wear when I go to work. The other one I'm really excited about is called Yummy Marshmallow. I mean, what's not to like there? And it's by a company, I think it's called Kayali. I'm not exactly sure. It's related to Huda Beauty, and that one just smells great. And I also thought the 2 together also really layered well. And I'm also thinking about getting a conditioner by Way. They have a thick hair conditioner, which is 100% what I own. And a lot of people said it was good for curly hair, and it has kind of that St. Bart's beachy scent. And so I thought that would layer really well with these as well. Now, on the blush side, and believe me, I have more than enough blush, and I absolutely could not buy blush for the next 5 years, and I would still have plenty and probably still be checking new ones out. But I want to try out the Tower 28 blushes, and so I'm looking at Long Island Iced Tea very specifically for that one. I really think that's a really pretty shade. I'm also interested in the Nude Sticks Boysenberry. It looks kind of scary, but on the model it looks great. So, you know, if it looks great on the model, of course it'll look amazing on me. That's definitely not how that works, but we'll check it out. And the other thing I want to check out is the Rare Beauty Bouncy Blushes. Now, I think those are kind of a nice little kind of cream to powder situation, but I'm looking at Truth and also Worth. I haven't really decided if I'm going to get 1 or 2. I should probably just get 1, let's be honest, but we'll see how it goes. I'm also looking at the Pat McGrath Mothership palette that just came out. I've seen a lot of YouTubers make some creative looks from that, so maybe checking that out. And then Lawless also has some new lip glosses that they just launched. They're only available in store right now, but I'm hoping that they pop up online. I really liked Strawberry Milkshake. I just thought that one looked really good. There's also a number of skincare items that I've been looking at and considering for the sale. One of the new ones is a company called Then I Met You, which I had not heard of previously, and they have an essence that has so many good ingredients. So I'm thinking about that one. And then Alpine Beauty just came out with their Super Sculpt Serum, and I'm also thinking about that one. So not exactly sure what I'm gonna get on the skincare side. Kind of a smattering of products. I'm still kind of deciding what I want to get, and then I'll kind of place my order. So stay tuned, because once I get all of my items, then I will do a haul video and go through everything. But like I said, I'll continue to do some recommendation videos throughout the week just to kind of get you ready for the Sephora sale. And again, if you're rouge, this is not a drill. Start now. This is the happiest time of the year. It comes actually twice a year. So it's the first happiest time of the year. This is like going to Disneyland. That's actually why I wore my fireworks shirt today, because it is definitely a celebration. So definitely go and shop the sale. I'm also going to have a skincare recommendations video, because I study skincare like it is a science. I look at ingredients, I make sure it's clean, it's cruelty-free, and that there's no irritants. You would think that if you spend a ton of money on a moisturizer, that it's going to be free of perfumes and things that are going to irritate your skin. Not true at all. I would say half the products I look at have some kind of irritant, whether it's lemon oil to make it smell good or perfume. I would never spray perfume on my face, so why would I do it with a moisturizer? I will have some of my favorite products, and I will also say I started using 2 new products at the start of 2025, and I went to go visit my dermatologist, and she was like, "What are you using for your skin? Your skin looks really good," which I feel like is a really good compliment when your dermatologist wants to know what you're using. So I will include those 2 as well. So stay tuned for that. And I will have all of these products that we talked about today linked in the description box down below so that you can find them easier. And I hope everyone has a great day and happy shopping.